I'll talk before, and then at the time you can just tell me what time. The radio is off, you can keep it till 8 o'clock. And so happy Easter to all. Today we are celebrating a day which is a very, very important, absolutely most important, we can say, day when such a great happening took place. And it had to take place that way. It was all in a way destined. In my last lectures, I have told you how Christ was created first in the heavens. In the Devi Mahatmya, if you read that, he was created as Mahavishnu. And it is mentioned very clearly that first he was created as an egg. It is written in this book, which perhaps was written about 14,000 years back. It's a book that predicts about Christ. And that is why people in the West especially offer an egg to each other as a friend. So first the existence came on this earth as an egg, that was Christ, and part of it was kept in that state, and the rest of it was used by the Holy Ghost, by Mahalakshmi, to create Christ out of it. In that ancient book he was called as Mahavishnu. He is the greater form of Vishnu. But actually Vishnu is the Father and he is the Son, created by the Holy Ghost. After my lecture I would like, if you have the book, to read it out to them, the whole text of how Christ was created. And when he was created, he cried for his Father, as he cried also on the cross once. And he cried for years, and then Christ, in Mahavishnu state, was blessed by his Father, who said that your position will be placed higher than mine, and you will be the Adhara, means the support of the universe. See how from Muladhara he becomes the Adhara. This was all done at the heavenly stage, Vaikuntha stage you can say. Then he was given birth by the Holy Ghost, who was the mother of Christ on this earth, who was nobody else but was the incarnation of Mahalakshmi, means she was Radha. Radha. Ra means energy, Dha means the one who sustains energy. There are many aspects of Easter one has to understand. But the most of all is why did he die and why was he resurrected? This point I have not yet touched, perhaps so clearly. That's the point I want to tell you today. It's only you people can understand the importance of the life of Christ. And when it is said that you have to get your realization through Christ, it means that he had to pierce through the Agya Chakras. He had to be there. If he had not created this gap in the gate, we could never have got realization. That is why it is said that you are to pass through the gates of heaven only with the grace of Christ. Of course, that doesn't mean churches. It doesn't mean at all churches. That you understand as Sir Yogis. That you have to pass through the Agya Chakra. Ultimately, that's the most difficult point where human beings have to pass. Because at the Agya Chakra, your ego and superego are fully grown. At the human stage, only this ego is developed. Now, how to overcome the ego was a point. And to overcome the ego, Christ had to do this. When he was created in the beginning as Shri Ganesha, you know the story, how he was created. That the Mala is from the body of Parvati, the Holy Ghost, was taken out because before her marriage she had to cover herself for her bath with many scented things, and it was taken out, all these things, and her vibrations came out, and she created this child just to protect her chastity. Outside her bathroom she put it, and you know the whole story about it. Now there was a part of the element of the earth in that child, Prithvi Tattva was there. All other centers have got some elements in that. Some elements like Prithvi Tattva is there, earth element, then you have got water element, then you have got air element. And when you come to this, it is the light element, it's the light. And at this point, at Agya Chakra, he had to cross the last element, that was the light element. That means he had to come out into the true form of only the divine power, the Omkara, the vibrations you can call it, or the absolute, you call it Logos or something like that, the first sound, Brahma. So he had to become the principle of Brahma. To become the principle of Brahma, he had to get rid of all other elements within him. So the last was also the light element, which he had to cross. So he had earth element in him as he was of the Mala, and all other elements within him. But when it comes to the Agya, he had to give up all the elements, that he had to die the death of all these elements that were within him to become complete, absolutely pure spirit. What he did on subtle form works out on the gross form. And to do that, he had to die. And whatever died in him was that little element of earth element and other elements, and what came out of him was pure spirit. Let's move forward. Was pure spirit. That was resurrected. The pure spirit, the pure Brahma Tattva, which had formed the body of Christ, which was the body of Christ. And this happening came, Christ has done what was predicted about him, that he is a savior, because he passed through that gate to take people from this bodily existence, means the one that depends on the elements, to that existence which is spirit. So the resurrection is where you become, from your attention, you jump into the attention of the spirit. When you feel your attention, when you become the spirit, that is the happening which has happened to you also. But he became pure spirit, pure Brahma Tattva, when he was resurrected. And the resurrection is a happening of the divine power which came from Muladhara Chakra as just earth element, started growing. It took its birth from there, came up to Agya Chakra. There Christ was created to pass through all the elements, ultimately enter into the Sahasrara, to become a complete Brahma. And this was a very difficult thing, was very experimental, and the experiment was quite dangerous. It could have failed also, because he had in him that human element, the body element, which suffered. And he suffered because this body element suffers, not the spirit. Spirit does not suffer. The body element suffers. So he had to suffer that body element, and to get over it, to get out of it. And to get out of it, he had to have a tremendous courage. It was such a difficult operation. Without him, nobody could have achieved. He knew it was predestined. But it was one of the most difficult things to happen. I wonder how many Christians know the significance of an egg. Now, egg signifies a stage where you are before realization. When you are in your eggshell, that you are Mr. X, you are Mrs. Y, all that. But when you mature fully inside, the bird is ready, and that is the time you are hatched. This is the time you get twice born. So actually the resurrection of Christ signifies that, and that's why we give that egg to people, saying you are an egg, a reminder of that, and this egg can become the spirit. And also it is written that it was an egg when he came. First he was created as an egg. Half of it remained as Shri Ganesha, and half of it became Mahavishnu. Then he came on this earth and he departed with all his elements, and the pure vibrations formed his body, and he remained there within all of you to be awakened. And when the Kundalini takes your attention through that point, there you also become the spirit. That's why he said that I am the gate, I am the door. He didn't say I am the destination. He said I am the door. Because you cannot become Christ. That's why he didn't say I am the destination that you have to achieve. But he has created this space for you. You can become spiritually awakened. You can become your spirit. But Christ is an incarnation. He was the Son of God. And so he is an incarnation. And that incarnation came on this earth just to pull you out of your elements, to make you become the spirit. Now how is it that it was the most difficult thing? Because human beings have created in their heads all kinds of artificial barriers. You see, whatever we think and whatever we do with our mind is all dead, is man-made, is artificial. Because reality is beyond your mind. It is not in your mind. You cannot conceive it, you cannot hold it. Whatever is in your mind is not the reality. It is beyond. So, for a human being to accept something that is beyond mind had become so difficult at the time of Christ because of Romans and all these people coming up. And we are repeating the history again. They were so ego-oriented, they were so full of ego, that to destroy their ego, somebody had to do this, to create a passage. By his death, so many things are proved. That all those who crucified him were stupid people. They were ego-oriented. They were blind. They could not see what he was. They could not see what a genuine personality he was. They crucified. I mean, it's the greatest stupidity. And they crucified him. It was all known because these people were so stupid that they would have only crucified him. What else they could do? Because they couldn't bear with their little egos somebody who is so simple, who is so genuine, who is so true. So they crucified him. And that crucifixion came as a breakthrough for us. But message for us is the resurrection part. Message for us is the resurrection and not crucifixion. Crucifixion is not the message because he is done for us. This is the point where Jews must understand. The other day I was reading, today only, some discussion with the Archbishop of Canterbury took place. And the fellow was asking him questions as if he was asking questions to God. In a way he said so also, that I would ask this question to God, that why is it so many Jews were killed? They asked for it. They wanted that they must suffer because they wouldn't give the credit of suffering to Christ. They thought we all have to suffer. It's ego. How dare anybody suffer for us? We must suffer separately. They couldn't give that credit to Christ, and all the later thinking was that we must suffer. So, whatever you think comes into action on this gross level. So Mr. Hitler was born and he made them suffer. And the stupidity of human beings is responsible for all the problems that are created on this earth. The other question was how the children get leukemia. He would ask God, how children get it? If the parents are so frantic and speedy, children have to get it. If you are not a relaxed person, when you are married and when you are going to have a baby, you are thinking of divorces and all sorts of nonsense, that franticness will work on the child. Psychologically it is a left side problem and the child has to be a patient of leukemia as soon as he is born. That is what it is. So the problems are created by human beings because of their stupidity. There is no problem that God has created. He solved all your problems. He solves. You have seen in Sahaja Yoga how He solves your little problems. But we create problems for ourselves by our stupidity, by our addiction to elements, to material things, to material habits. Matter sits on our head. That is on the, you can say, on the level of the earth element. Then we have other problems like emotional attachments. This is my daughter, this is my child, this is mine, I am so attached to my child. Then this is my country, this is your country. We create problems. This Falkland, this thing is an artificial problem, you can see that. I mean, when these people went there, these Spaniards, they all should be driven back to Spain. And all from Brazil should be driven back to Portugal. What are they doing there, if this is the situation? But they are all human beings. What is this territory business? See, let the human beings live happily wherever they are. What are they going to get out of this territory? God never created Argentina, Chile, England and all that. He created one homogeneous structure. And it is to look after each other. Like a heart is created, a liver is created, a brain is created, a nose is created. If they start fighting, say, but this eye starts fighting this eye, we laugh. But we human beings do the same. We are all the time doing that. This is the stupidity of human beings, which is creating a problem. And when you become very stupid, somebody horrible takes advantage of that and comes on this earth just like Hitler. And he tries to put you back. You don't need all that. You need only wisdom and your realization. And that is what is done today, that you have got realization. So Easter for Sahaja Yogis all over the world is the most important happening. Because if it had not happened, it would not have been possible to give realization to people. I think Gavin will read it out to you later on about what is written about Christ in Devi. This book was written about 14,000 years back by Nightingale. So imagine 14,000 years back, he knew, being a seer, just like Blake, what was going to happen when Christ was to come. But he was called as Mahavishnu. He was not Vishnu, he was the son of Vishnu. And how many Christians understand about Easter? They don't. Christianity today is nothing but a mental activity, that's all, which is dead, nonsensical. Just like any other nonsensical religion, it has become another foolish, stupid religion. which has no meaning. Unless and until you get your realization, unless and until you feel the vibrations, unless and until you feel this divine surrounding power, how will you understand? Because that's the only thing that is true. That's the only thing that is reality. And unless and until you achieve it, how will you know about Christ and fighting about Him? How can you fight? I can't understand really. To me, it's stupidity gone to another extreme. By this thing, what you do actually is to use all these great incarnations to kill each other. Can you imagine? The things that came to elevate you, to make you into higher living, are now used, the same things, the names are used, to kill each other, to bring down each other. At the most, if you reach a point where you don't understand, then they start saying it's a mystery. What is the mystery in Sahaja Yoga? There's no mystery. It's all just there. To me, human beings are a mystery. I don't understand them. I can't understand. The resurrection of Christ has to now be collective resurrection. This is what is Mahayoga. Has to be the collective resurrection, and for this collective resurrection, first of all, Sahajogis must decide to be collective. Because through Kundalini awakening you cross, no doubt, you cross through. But you enter an area of collectivity. And if you do not allow that collectivity to permeate into you, then you come down. Supposing you become a state beyond the element, the state where you are a collective being. You are aware of the collective being. You are aware that you are a part and parcel of the whole. You are aware that you have to help your nose and your eyes because you are part and parcel of the whole. You reach that stage where you understand that I am as important as other cells are, and other cells have to be held by me and they have to sustain me. We are one. There should be complete concord. This awareness comes after realization, and if you do not understand that this awareness, that this collective awareness is the only way you can stay in that area, otherwise you get out. You start having your smaller wells and you just go down. The more you start to expand yourself, you rise higher. And then you are again with your badhas or whatever it is. But if you think that I have to live for the whole, I am responsible for the whole, I am responsible for creating a nucleus of a cell which is going to look after the whole. And if I fall down, the rest also suffers. I have no business to fall down because I have been resurrected to this point. I have entered into the state of collectivity where my being, which is the spirit, is the collective being, and I have to stay there. I have to be there. I cannot fall. It's not the way I can live. But I have seen after realization also, people cannot get out of their shells. They still remain in the shell. They cannot spread their wings and sing and get out of their shell and just fly. They cannot do it. They still stick on to their small ways of life, in a smaller way, in every way. In a holiday you go, you want to have a separate holiday. Why? This is the holiday time. Holy day, as they say, holy day. This is the holy day. When you are with other Sahajogis, you are really enjoying a holiday. Where do you enjoy a holiday otherwise? Which is the other way? To be with them is the real holiday. And that is why one should understand that you should expand your collectivity. If you do not expand your collectivity, you are just a waste. You are a wasteful creation of Sahajogis, which I am sorry to say will go down. Such people show also. In the beginning, gradually they start getting better and better and better. And once you are there in full state, you really enjoy each other's company without having any fears about them, without having any possessiveness about them, without having any kind of expectations, but just enjoying each other. That has to happen. Like all our cells in our body are like that. If they can do it, why not we? Because we have so much of sense. At least we think we have more sense than the cells have. At least which is expected, because we have evolved so much from a unicell to this stage. And then you are the epitome of God's creation. You are the topmost people. Then why not? When you are resurrected, the first thing that should happen to you is to understand that you are no more an individual, but you are a collective being. You are no more an individual. All things which make you circumcise your individuality, throw that. You are no more an individual. All problems which come to you as individual problems are absolutely useless, false, wasteful. Think of the collective problems. I enjoy such people. I, the other day, was anxious to know about Bristol, which points are there, which are giving vibrations from the Mother Earth. He's worried about the whole of Bristol, all the Jamaicans, then about the whole British people, and then of the whole world issue. That's what one should. One should not think, how will my daughter get married? How can I get a ticket to go there? All these nonsensical ideas should be given up. Because you are now entered into the kingdom of God and He is going to look after you. Because that state you establish within yourself, that you are a collective being. All other things will drop off. Gradually everybody will be molded. Even the most difficult I have seen have improved. But what about you, the one who is improving everybody else? What about you? How far you are there? How far in your faith that you know that I have entered into the kingdom of God and that every action mine is looked after and guided by His power. And I am aware of it. I am aware that I have entered into the kingdom of God, which is expressed through my collectivity. So collectivity is the nature of a surgeon. And that's what one has to realize. May God bless you. Is it all right now? Just time. How I manage without looking at the watch. There's some people standing. I'll have some water or some tea.
Some tea.
I mean, all these lectures, if you could tape, hello Athena, hello. If you could take all these and sort of send some of them to France and or from Lille, they have come, both of them. And I think it should work out. Because first the people come in, then they disappear. As usual, that's a common feature, you see. Then gradually they...
Meeting the deaths of her children.
Mother?
Little loudly.
If someone makes a list of your lectures, what you've been speaking about, as it goes along, week to week, month to month, we can print the list each month in the newsletter, so that people in other centres can write and ask for texts.
That's
can write and ask which ones.
Almost every time I speak, you give it a heading. All of you should. What is it? Is it coming?
The radio program.
Is it coming? It's still tired. Yes, that is important. I agree that we must have a list of things where you have to give it a title. You see, I have no titles, but you have to give a title. For example, what you can say is the resurrection of Christ or something about Easter. I think you can contact this Bishop of Canterbury. This, poor man is not such a staunch Christian, I feel. The way I think next time you may write a letter to him, and some of you can go and see him. When Gregor comes and 3-4 people, you should ask for a thing, and you should say, can you get today's Times, or if you can telephone to my servant, tell him not to throw today's newspaper, he's a good thrower. Very good at throwing. Can somebody telephone to him? Is it phone here available? John?
He used to be in the Cathedral of St. Albans. He used to be in the Cathedral of St. Albans, He was there when you were there.
When you were in St. Albans, when Jamel was living at St. Albans, you visited there. He was the bishop there at that time.
He was the bishop there.
How was he?
I didn't know him at that time, but soon after you visited, he got promoted.
Good idea. So we can write to him. I might have met him there also, or he might have seen him.
Quite possible. The shrine.
Devi, you have to collect my passport tomorrow. Right. Then I would say on 5th of May, if you people could collect some money for this building, that's a good day when you can give it to me or to Gregor, and we can put that money in the bank. We have opened now an account for that. Any amount that people want to give as the first amount, and also little people wanted to give some money. I told them that you should give it for our building account, because we have to have a building now. It's absolutely imminent. And before I go back, we should have money, for which you can also tell Warren that this is what is decided, that the first amount should go on the 5th. A good idea. And I've got the account number also. So you can send it in the name of Gregor and the account number. I'll give it to you. If you want, I should be all right.
Marie asked if we could find out how many people about will go to Paris from
No. Now for Paris, the thing is, it is on Tuesday. The program is on Tuesday. And she has arranged that we go to Lille on Sunday. So if you come to Lille on Sunday, after the program, if you want, you all can go to Paris and stay in the ashram there. Or is it possible in Lille Is there any place where we can take it on rent for a night somewhere?
No problem.
Is it?
No problem.
No problem. Sure?
Definitely.
All right. So one night you can stay in it. It's a good idea.
If there are enough people, we can take a bus.
Hmm?
We can take a bus to travel.
Good.
If there are enough people. We just have to find out how many want to go.
Now from there, then we go to Paris. In Paris you have a big place to do. That will be done Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we have this puja in the morning time perhaps. And I would like to come back if possible on the 6th. If 5th is alright, otherwise 6th you can put it. Somebody is working it out in Brussels. Did you write to that doctor? Have you kept his address? I think on Gavin I put too much pressure also sometimes. Somebody must try to share it also and should find out. It's easy to telephone to him, I know his number very well. But you can find out, all of you, if he needs any help. Martha, sometimes you can telephone to him and find out if he needs any help for writing some letters or something, and also for typing anything. Anybody who wants to help him, it is essential because I trouble him quite a lot. And also you have a little account for sending letters and things, and for telephones, a little account can be made. Everybody should. Now because we are expanding, we have to have a proper system by which we work it out. So many letters come to me every day, and I'm so lazy, I just can't, I don't know. I think if I write now, then another will come tomorrow. So I wait for a while, and then but my attention is there. If you write to me, I'm very happy because I know what is happening. But don't write very long letters, I enjoy them, but if they are too long, then, the main thing is left out. We have to be to the point and properly with the protocol and all that. There's one gentleman who writes to me regularly from India. His name is Mr. Brahme, Satish Brahme. And he writes only 2 sentences. One is that, Father, please bless me that I will be a good Sahajogi. Father, please bless the whole world that they become Sahajogis and the Sahajoga spreads, and yours most loving son at your lotus feet, so and so. That's all. Regularly I must have so many letters from him, that's all. It's good after all. Whenever you write praise and all that is good, but sometimes, we go on writing. Like one gentleman has written, I've been working for 2 years, I have done everything, I have done lingu, I have done chilies, I have done this, I have done that, and have not felt the vibrations, you see. But the list of things he gave, she made me laugh, really. Poor man, you must be fed up. And the simple thing he is doing wrong, which people didn't understand, that he is doing Gayatri Mantra. If you do Gayatri Mantra, it doesn't work. This is so common. We are here. Gayatri Mantra, if people have done, the right side is so much horrible. And it doesn't work out at all. So you have to neutralize it with Lord's Prayer and with forgiveness to others with the right hand. towards the photograph. And left hand outside. And never to say Gayatri Mantra again, you see. But that's what it is. But these small things people don't notice when I'm treating others. And I don't know how to talk about it one by one. Because when it comes before me, I know the solution. So it's better that you people note it down what Mother does at that time. Now this Gayatri Mantra is one of the worst curses on human beings, I think. It is so right-sided. An Indian, if he does Gayatri Mantra, he becomes 10 times worse than any Westerner. Think of it. Now, can you read it? Now, is it started?
So you have to set the frequency, the right frequency.
Why not start with radio?
You've got LBC on.
I think LBC is on.
Is there no radio there?
It's here, it's here.
What's happening?
It's on LBC, but
LBC News Radio.
No, I can't hear.
True or false game, a headline prize, a quick fire competition, a postal problem, a mystery game, a mystery cue, a special contest between two strange teams, and a miscellany hour. And in spite of all this, there's plenty of room for you to take part. That's Night Time, this Sunday at 10. My next visit was to the Church of the Transfiguration in Kensal Rise. Father William Dempsey presides there over a new old church. And that means that his congregation bought an old church and converted it, as he told me whilst we were standing in the nave.
It was a Methodist church, built in 1900. And extremely well built too. Red brick building here on the corner of Chamberlain Road, Grantham Avenue. And it was built for 700 people. It had a very big gallery in it, which, as you can see, has now disappeared. And we now have a congregation of between 14 and 1500 here now on a Sunday.
It's a very open and very light church, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that we've got this marvellous sort of barrel ceiling.
That's true, yes. Well, as you can see, of course, you've got two. It was very much darker when the gallery was here. And having taken that out, of course, it brightened it up enormously. Then, of course, there was a lot of stained glass, but it was analysed, so we had to take it all out and we put in this nice clear glass.
Is it yours?
Which made a difference to it.
Well, the other major change we made is
It's an hour-long program.
All right.
Turn it down. We're going to take all of it and then play it back.
That's better. You have to go through all nonsense to listen to some sense somewhere. David, what have you got? You read the Bible, I think.
Yes, there's a very appropriate psalm we've discovered, Mother.
Very
short.
Must be.
Ashram.
Huh?
It's for the Ashram.
Loudly.
Psalm 133. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
Very beautifully found out, I must say. Now, what is it? Devi Mahatma read it out.
Narayana said, O Devashi, the egg born of Mula Prakriti that was floating in the waters for a period equal to the life period of Brahma, now in the fullness of time separated into two parts. Within that egg there was a powerful child, lustrous like 1,000 millions of suns. This child could not suck mother's milk, as it was forsaken by her. So being tired of hunger, the child for a moment cried repeatedly.
Forsaken because he had to grow.
The child that will become the lord of countless Brahmandas, universes.
Countless Brahmandas. Brahmandas are universes.
Now an orphan having no father nor mother began to look upwards from the waters. This boy came to be denominated afterwards by the name of Mahavirat, when he became gross and grosser. As there is nothing finer than radium, so there is nothing grosser than Mahavirat. The power of this Mahavirat, 1/16 of that of Shri Krishna, the highest self. But
That is Jehovah.
But this boy born of the Prakriti Radha is the sole stay of all this universe. And
Soul stay.
he is denominated by the name Mahavishnu. In his every pore, countless universes are existing. So much so that even Shri Krishna could not count them. If it were possible to count the number of dust particles, it is impossible to count the number of the universes. So there are endless Brahmas, Vishnus and Maheshwaras. In every Brahmanda there is Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesha. Each Brahmanda extends from Patala to the Brahma Loka. The abode of Vaikuntha is higher than that. That is, it is situated outside of Brahmanda. Again, the abode of Goloka is 50 koti yojanas, that is 50 by 10 by 4 by 2 million miles, higher than Vaikuntha. This Goloka Dhamma is eternal and real, as Shri Krishna is eternal and real. This world, composed of 7 islands, is surrounded by the 7 oceans. 49 Upadvipas, smaller islands adjacent to them, exist here. Besides, there are countless mountains and forests. Higher than this earth is the Brahma Loka with 7 heavens, and below this are the 7 Patalas. This is the bounding limit of Brahmanda. Just above this earth, there is the Burloka, above is the Bhuvaloka, then Svaloka, then Janarloka, then Taparloka, then Satyaloka. And above
Mahaloka, Mahaloka not there? Maha. Bhurbhuva Swaha. They call it Brahma.
Bhurbhuva,
Swaha,
Swaha,
Tapaha,
Jana,
Jana,
Tapaha,
Tapaha.
Satya and Brahmaloka. The splendor of Brahmaloka is like that of molten gold. But all the substances, whether outside or inside this Brahmaloka, are transient. When this Brahmanda dissolves, everything dissolves and is destroyed. All are temporary, like bubbles of water. Only Goloka and Vaikuntha are eternal. In every pore of this Mahavirat is existing one Brahmanda. Or to speak of others...
Pore means every, what do you call this, pore of the skin. One Brahmanda exists in Christ. Thank you.
What to speak of others, even Krishna cannot count the number of these Brahmandas. In every Brahmanda there is Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesha. O child Narada, in every Brahmanda the number of the gods is 3 kotis or 30 millions. Some of them are the Dikpatis, the regents of the quarters. Some are the Dikpalas, the rulers of the quarters. Some are asterisms and some are planets. In the Burloka there are 4 Varnas, Brahmins, etc. And in the Patalas there are Nagas. Thus the universe exists composed of movable and non-movable things. This is Brahmanda Vivriti. O Narada, now the Virat Purusha began to look up to the skies again and again, but he could not see anything within that egg except the void. Then, distressed with hunger, he cried out repeatedly and became merged in anxiety. Next moment, getting back his consciousness, he began to think of Krishna, the highest person, and saw there at once the eternal light of Brahman. He saw there his form as deep blue like new rain cloud, with two bands, garment of a yellow colour, sweet smile on his face, flute in his hand, and he seemed to be very anxious to show his grace to devotees. Looking at the Lord, his father, the boy became glad and smiled. The Lord, the bestower of boon, granted him boons appropriate for that moment. O child, let you possess knowledge like me. Let your hunger and thirst vanish. Let you
See, hunger and thirst vanish. He fasted for 40 days. See, all the indications are there.
Let you be the holder of innumerable Brahmandas till the time of Pralaya, the universal dissolution. Be without any selfishness, be fearless and the bestower of boons to all. Let not old age, death, disease, sorrow or any other ailings afflict thee.
This is the sign of a Brahma Shakti. He himself has said before that the Brahma Shakti or the spirit does not die, does not get old and all that, and he is telling him all that.
Thus saying, he repeated thrice on his ear the six-lettered great mantra, Om Krishnaya Svaha, worshipped by the Vedas with their Angas, the giver of desires and the destroyer of all troubles and calamities. O Brahma's son, thus giving the mantra, Shri Krishna arranged for his feeding thus. In every universe, whatever offerings will be given to Shri Krishna, 1/16 of that will go to Narayana, the Lord of Vaikuntha, and 15/16 is to go to this boy, the Virat. Shri
He is Narayana also. Shri Krishna is Narayana, you see. So 1/16 will go to Narayana and 15/16 to his son.
Shri Krishna did not allot any share for himself. Himself transcending all the gunas, full, he is always satisfied with himself. What necessity is there for any further offerings? Whatever the people offer with devotion, the Lord of Lakshmi, the Virat, eats all these. Bhagavan Shri Krishna, giving thus to the Virat the boon and the mantra, said, O child, say what more you desire, I will give you that instantly. The Virat boy, hearing thus the words of Shri Krishna, spoke, O thou omnipresent, I have got no desires whatsoever, save this, that as long as I live, whether for a short time or for a long time, let me have pure bhakti towards thy lotus feet.
That's why always Christ has these fingers like this, one denoting towards Shri Krishna and another towards Vishnu. This talked of his father Puja. For a short time or for a long time. He lived for a short time and for a long time.
In this world he is Jivan Mukta, liberated whilst living, who is your Bhakta. And that bewildered fool is dead while living, who is devoid of any bhakti to thee. What needs he to perform japa, asceticism, sacrifice, worship, holding fasts and observances, going to sacred places of pilgrimages, and other virtuous acts, if he be without any bhakti to Shri Krishna? Vain is his life who is devoid of any devotion to Shri Krishna, under whose grace he has obtained his life, and whom he does not now pay homage and worship. He is endowed with Shakti as long as Atma resides in his body. No sooner the Atma departs from his body, all the Shaktis accompany him. O Great One, and thou art the universal Atman, who transcends Prakriti, who is all will, the primeval person, and of the nature of the highest light. O child, thus saying, the Virat boy remained silent. Shri Krishna then spoke in sweet words. O child, let you remain as fresh as ever like me. You will not have any fall, even if innumerable Brahmas pass away. Let you divide yourself in parts and turn into smaller Virats in every universe.
That's what he
Brahma
did.
will spring from your navel and will create the cosmos. From the forehead of that Brahma will spring 11 Rudras for the destruction of the creation. But they will all be parts of Shiva.
That is given by Shiva to him. See, the 11 parts are given to this child by Shiva.
The Rudra named Kalagni of these 11 Rudras will be the destroyer of all this Vishvas, the cosmos. Besides, from each of your subdivisions the Vishnu will originate, and that Bhagavan Vishnu will be the preserver of this Vishnu world. I say that under my favour you will always be full of bhakti towards me, and no sooner you meditate on me, you will be able to see my lovely form. There is no doubt in this, and your mother, who resides in my breast, will not be difficult for you to see. But you remain here in ease and comfort. I now go to Goloka. Saying thus, Shri Krishna, the Lord of worlds, disappeared.
So clear cut. Better send it to this Archbishop of Canterbury. What does he understand about Christ? That every pore of his skin is the one Brahmanda. So he became very gross, you see, in the sense that he came down on this earth, you see, and then he became the spirit. That's why he said his only son. What is happening? Nothing.
Mother, may I read something for you?
Yes, yes.
Paul Duncan and I have written this. Paul Duncan and I have written this. It's called Resurrection Sunday. We wandered lost in this confused age. You came to us like rain to a scorched plain. We made so many foolish mistakes, but you laughed and loved us even more. We walked all ways, seeking Messiah's return, and then you came with open arms. We closed our hearts and ran our love dry, and you refreshed us with cooling grace. Mother, oh mother, river of love, you wash our troubles away. Mother, oh mother, ocean of joy, you are opening our flowers. We struggled hard inside our shells. You took the eggs and made the doves. We cried for love and forgot how to be. You wiped our tears and let us see. We needed the fulfillment of Christ's words, and then, Mother Mary, you gave us true second birth. We languished in our man-made tombs. Divine Redeemer, you rolled away the stone. Mother, oh mother, river of love, you wash all troubles away. Mother, oh mother, ocean of joy, you open all the flowers.
So beautiful, I think. Very beautiful. It's like a mantra working on my vibrations. So now all our programs are fixed for different days, and now I've received a letter from him, or Jim, saying that he would like to have a program from the 15th of June now. And I personally think that he has put last 2 days, one day to Norwich and then one day in Cambridge, then Norwich. I think 17th is Cambridge, 18th Norwich and again Cambridge and then Puja. Best is to keep 2 days in Cambridge. First Norwich, that will be, what date did I tell you to have Norwich?
18th.
18th should be Norwich, 19th and 20th Cambridge and 21st will be the Puja. Alright? Just change that much, otherwise it's perfectly alright. What else? Kevin, how are you?
Sorry.
Hot. Very hot.
No, it was late. I didn't have time to change my clothes.
You are all right. You're all right. See, when the mother has seen you in your birthday suits, why should you worry about any dress for your mother? Isn't it? There is no formality with the mother. It's all right. She likes to see you properly clad, but there's nothing, no formality. Oh, thank you. That's all. Thank you very much. But you look serious. That's what I want to know.
Oh, I'm worried whether the volume's coming through on the tape.
Oh, I see.
Because I don't know.
Yes. I was wondering what's the matter, why are you so serious? No, I just thought maybe because now you're married and you're thinking of a married life now and what to do, and no problems. You see, when you even tell somebody you have to get married, suddenly they, as if somebody has stuck a pistol. That's the first reaction I have seen many a time. Pat has not come today?
No, Christian's not very well, mate. Christian's still not very well, so he's
I know, poor thing.
he'd like to come and see you next week. That's all right.
I've told her problem is basically something different, and I've told the solution and I was going to find out. Did you ask Sarah?
I didn't get the chance just.
But Sarah is here. You can talk to her. See, we had a doctor in India called Dr. Shirolkar, and he devised an operation. You might have heard his name. It is to strengthen the. Who is crying so much? Just see the child. The lower wall of the uterus, you see. And that operation somebody must be doing here also, I'm sure.
Yes, she had it.
Huh? She had that operation?
She did, but it's still, she's still...
No, but then she conceived very early then.
Sorry?
You have to wait after that to develop into a proper... She had that kind of an operation,
Yes,
did she?
I think she did, yes.
Then she should have waited to see that the wall is fully developed. I think if she is allowed to, I'm going to work out something else for her. You can have another layer just to make it strong, you see.
Yes.
Any other problems? How are you now? Yes? All right? Don't do any heavy work, but walking is good. Near Regent Park, you can go in the morning for a walk. Not in Keown, but it's a good place to walk about a little bit. How are you? Why don't you sit on a chair? It will be better. Let us sit down on a chair. Go. Go down. So how are you? I'm happy you could come. I'm happy you could come. Received any letter? He's telephoning me. He's telling me that he's trying to get the permission and this and that. He's going to write to me again. He's trying something. You see, he doesn't want to talk about it unless he really gets the permission.
I wrote to him.
I written to him, yeah. He telephones to me. All suspiciousness, you see. Because he is in the Air Force and the government is suspicious of foreigners, you see, marrying any Air Force, this thing, you see. I just don't understand. So I was saying, you take my passport, you have to walk like a criminal with your passport number, this, that. And you have to get my visas in Rome and these places. But I think he can do it, Dinesh knows how to do it. Tell him to go to Varadarajan, he'll give him, because it's a diplomatic passport. How are you now, okay? Are you better? Mala, what about your chicken pox? Gone?
It's gone.
Jamil, how are you?
I've got an agya problem.
आ गया? On the day of resurrection, Agya should clear out. Somebody has done everything for us. You see. The best is to rely on that. Oh, done. What? So why should we worry? Better. Everything is done for you. I mean, lucky people, I must say. Like this, you see, that others have to do everything for you, and you have the fruits of it. Isn't it a good situation? But still, you look so worried. As we say, there's a dog walking under a cart. He looks very worried because he thinks he's carrying the cart, you see. And the poor, the bullocks which are pulling the cart are quite happy. Better now. Is it true that in Islam they hate dogs? No, they don't hate dogs. In Iran, I don't know why they hate dogs so much. Somebody was telling me that they ill-treat dogs, absolutely. Was it surprising?
See it in Malaysia. Not well treated, animals in general are not well treated.
They're
very badly treated, you know.
badly treated. Because you see, they have become little insensitive to animals. I think so. Like here, people treat the dogs very kindly, but their children very unkindly. It's the other way now. I mean, you just don't understand. It's a mystery, as I said. Those who want to see me can come. Tomorrow evening I'll be at home. Alright? About say 6 o'clock. Then Sahasrara Puja must be fixed in the evening so that everybody can make it. So about 7 o'clock. That will be good. Many people can come there. Evening, because it's a Wednesday or something. It's a Wednesday? So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, perhaps.
It's Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday? I'm sure. Because if second is Tuesday,
Second is Sunday.
Second is Tuesday,
And Sunday.
it's a Sunday. Then it's all right, Wednesday. So one should try to have it about 7 o'clock so that others can come in for the puja. Now, is it over? Or
I don't know if John Glover is here, he's supposed to have been
where is he?
talking to the man.
So we can start the puja business because otherwise it will be too much. All right? When you get it.
Sahaja comes from Indian language and it means born with you or spontaneous, because essentially yoga isn't just something that one does to keep fit as it's become in the West now. Yoga means union of yourself and your spirit, or of your spirit and the great spirit, which is the divine or God, or the Hindus call it Brahman. And in actual fact, your spirit, which again people nowadays don't even know exists. A lot of the religions are embarrassed when people talk about souls or spirits. In fact, it's a reality. It is that within which is a true nature. Its qualities are pure bliss, pure consciousness, and truth. And if one can experience that spirit consciously, then obviously one's going to be a very blissful person, one isn't going to have the problems that most people have. The question is, how do you get it? And sahaja means that it's spontaneous. In other words, something now, for the first time, has made spontaneous self-realization, or knowing yourself fully, possible for the first time.
You say something, just what is this something?
The something is the fact that in the sacrum bone, which is a bone at the base of the spine, is a being that we call Kundalini. People in the East have known it as Kundalini, but Christians also have come across it, but they call it Holy Spirit. Jesus has talked about it too. And in fact,
the Christians would claim it lives in the bone.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. But nevertheless, Christ talked about it, and that's the essential thing. Not all Christians think necessarily, but rather what Christ said. Now, somehow, this being, which is the divine inside, has to link up the individual spirit, you say the Atma, the personal spirit, with the one, with the divine, right? And the way that happens is that the Kundalini rises up the spine, enlightens the spirit, and pierces, it goes through actually 7 subtle centers called chakras, which I'll talk a bit about in a minute if you like, until it pierces the frontal malar bone on the top of the head, that's the top chakra, the top center. When that happens, the person's spiritual reality inside, which is the spirit and these subtle centers, and the Kundalini, which is latent, if you like, the divine power within, all are brought into the conscious nervous system for the first time.
And if this is there, and has been there all the time, why hasn't it appeared?
Why hasn't it happened before? Well, it's happened before in a few cases. There have been enlightened people, no doubt. There have been great saints, people of immense courage and spiritual power, who did have their self-realization before. I mean, you could say that the Buddha was a man who, because of his great perfection, attained his total enlightenment. In other words, the Kundalini came up fully, and he was totally, as we'd say, God-realized. In other words, he became a hollow personality for the divine to play through. His ego just went. His Sufi's conditioning went, and he was just a spirit. Now it happens, however, for anybody, and this is the main thing, this is the interesting, exciting, and thoroughly enjoyable thing, that now it isn't the case that just a few sages who live on mountains living pure, absolutely perfect lives may, at the end of a very long time, get their self-realization. Now, any of us who desire it, any of us who are seeking it, genuine seekers, can get their self-realization. And the reason for that is that an Indian lady called Mataji, Her Holiness Mataji Nirmala Devi, has come absolutely foremost to give this gift of self-realization. by which, not that she's a guru who's come just to, have people sit at her feet and pay money and so on. On the contrary, she says you can't pay for the divine, you can't pay for your yoga, your union with your spirit and with God. It happens spontaneously, and the reason it happens is because in her presence, vibrations which come from her, or even from a photograph of her, come in through the upturned hands, and that acts as a trigger for the Kundalini, which is residing, which, as you say, you don't know about, or may have been there, is there, nevertheless, whether you know about it or not, in the base of the spine. This rises up when that cool breeze, which you feel as a cool breeze in your hands, of vibrations flow from Mataji or from the photograph of her. The Kundalini then comes up, and you begin to feel things in your
many pieces. But the real fact, and I have to say this, is that there are lots and lots of people who are saying similar types of things, and an awful lot of people outside would just turn around and say, well, what's the difference between this one and the rest?
Right. There are lots of differences, but admittedly, because of the age we're living in, because there are so many things around, some of which have been absolutely proved by psychologists and other people, just intelligent people, to be absolutely dangerous and damaging to people. The fact is, what is the difference? You have to have a discernment. The discernment, I'd say beforehand, is that you have to judge Mataji, you have to judge Sahaj Yoga on what you feel about it, I suppose, right, before your realization, and also using common sense. Now, Mataji's message is this: you can't pay for the divine, absolutely not. It's satanic to try and pay for the divine. Secondly, if a thing is genuine, you're not going to get bad side effects, you're not going to feel ill. If a thing is holy and is good and pure, you'll feel good, and it'll be obvious in your holy personality. I mean, that's the test. Equally, you can't come to this spiritual realization, or God you could say, or your spirit, or the truth. You can't come to that on a path which is unrighteous. You can't come to that on a path of unholiness, of immorality, or of extreme behaviour.
I mean, an awful lot of the others would say exactly the same thing. Well, you have to know what's the difference between yourselves and, say, Raja Yoga. Now, they don't go for money either.
And the fact is that we have the actual happening, which you can feel inside yourself. You feel the cool breeze. When you get realization, and anybody can get it, and you don't have to pay for it, you feel the cool breeze in your hands coming from the picture or from Mataji. That's something you actually feel, and you have to verify for yourself. I mean, my saying there's a cool breeze doesn't make a cool breeze, but if you feel a cool breeze, you can't very well deny it. Secondly, you feel a cool breeze coming out of the top of your head when you get realization, not before. Thirdly, you begin to feel all this extremely subtle, very sensitive and beautifully made creation, which is the human personality. You begin to feel its subtleties.
Okay, where does all this lead us? Where's it going to take us?
It takes us into the future, absolutely. Or you could say into the present. It takes you to yourself. When the Kundalini goes through the second to the top chakra, the sixth chakra, you come into the present and you enter a state of thoughts awareness spontaneously. You don't have to sit around for hours. It just happens when the Kundalini reaches that point. The reason for that is that suppose you are thinking, you can't possibly be in the present. You can't be aware of the absolute present. You can be aware of just what's just passed or what's going to happen in a very short time, but you can't be aware of the absolute present. So the only way to be in the present, absolutely, is to be thoughtless. And the Kundalini does this when it crosses that point on the forehead. Then you just become thoughtlessly aware, and we're in that state all the time. What we do is from that state. It sounds strange, but it's a reality. The cares go, the troubles go, your problems go. As these chakras get cleared out by the Kundalini rising up, it clears out all these horrible things that cause the problems, and then you become, in the end, a joyful being.
And should you be interested, she's holding a meeting at Caxton Hall on Wednesday the 14th of April at 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome.
Now, the one point that's very important to be said on such interviews is that you become empowered by your own power. You yourself know. You can feel it, the other person, you can feel yourself. And you know how to maneuver, you see. this Kundalini of others, you can give realizations to others, you can cure others. Your power is released. Your power of your spirit is released on your central nervous system. That would be really convincing. That's not my power. It's your own power you can.
It seems through talking to other groups, they do all say very much the same as we do, but the only thing that we could say really and utterly convincingly is that we do have those powers.
That's it.
And that's it.
Just talking is very easy. If you read some books, they talk. See, if they read a Sahaja Yoga book, they can say, I have a Kundalini awakening, I can see the chakra, I can, alright, say, start them. Can you feel our chakra? That's all. Then what do they agree? Then what do they say? Are they going to come?
Some of them have done, yes, Mother.
I think you should go and meet them again and again.
Yes,
You see, I must say, Matthias, he went to Santa Cruz, absolutely a new place. And he met people and talked to them and told them, see, you are not feeling anything. Why are you adhering to any group? For what? For paying money? For what? Because you have been doing it. But you are not feeling any vibrations, nothing, you are not feeling anything, you have no powers. And he convinced them. I said there will be at least 500 to 600 people and there were more than that for that book. That's what you have to go and tell them. What have you got? You haven't got any powers. We have, we can feel. We know this is your chakra is here, that is there. That's the thing.
There's a very funny story. We went to see some Buddhists and I asked one of them if he knew what enlightenment was. And he gave me a very flowery answer. And I said to him, do you think you'll get it in this lifetime? And he says, oh, I don't know, I think it might be possible. And I said, well, how would you know it when you get it? He says, oh, I suppose it'll dawn on me one day. And as he said that, his Kundalini came up.
It will what? It will what?
He said, I suppose it will dawn on me one day. And as he said it, his Kundalini
Good. I'm also sending, you see, this somehow in my husband's job, I meet people who are seekers, and who are placed at the helm of affairs. I'm sending them books, you see. We want to send one of our book to Indonesia. It's an ambassador from Indonesia, who's very anxious. So he has been writing to my husband that you haven't sent the book as yet, so we have to send it there.
Warren sent this cassette up. It's the first VHS copy.
All right, let's see. Can we see here? I don't know what sort of nail paint these people have put, I don't know. Indians. Doesn't go with very English nail paint remover. Can you believe it? Shines, so that's fine. I'll just come back from. It's a good one, no doubt, and it has come out very well. And also it shakes a little bit, but doesn't matter, we can't help it, you see, because originals we have in any case, and but these must be transferred. But all the new work should be done on the latest. That's the better. New system should be used. See? That's the better idea, I think, than to use that one and then transfer it. It's quite good, I mean, as far as, I mean, it gives effects all right, but could be better if you have direct. But as it is, we don't want them to be lost. Everybody would like to hear. And some of them are very powerful in Houston and all that. Have you got Houston one here?
There's at least one Houston one. I don't know where it is now. Maybe with Warren also.
Alright, so ask him to send some Houston things for people to see. They were very powerful. Especially on Christ, I spoke very well. And why don't you send this one to Houston people, the one on the Easter day? Will be a good idea, you see. And if he wants to hear, also Mr. Cheeky fellow, he could, you see. No wonder because of pressures on him, you see. See, that is being a cult. It will become a cult. Unity Church will become a cult once it starts tolerating everything. Just write to him that. You become a cult then. You don't become a living church. The living things know how to discard, what to accept. Listen.
This light taking you.
It is what?
Do you mind this light on?
I didn't see it.
Oh.
I think this gives a better picture.
It does.
It does. You can get people from, say, Will have come. Who else from London? You see, the new people, if they don't come forward, then how will I know them? You see, some of the new people whom I have not met should come forward. You see, it will be a good idea. You must tell your names to me. And what's it? Gary. Anybody else from the Patrick? You can come along. You come. Now, what's your name? Christopher. Christopher and Gary. Now, who else is there? A new one. Come along. Patrick, you come. And you come along. You also come because you come from outside. Hilary, is it all right? You've changed a little bit. Is it all right?
Yes, Mother.
Little bit, because you see, it's no use going up and down.
Yes.
It's best is to finish with knowledge.
Yes, Mother.
And then be in Cambridge.
Yes. Mother, did I understand that you were going to spend 2 evenings in Cambridge and then the Puja the following day?
Yes.
Or is it one evening?
No, that's what it is.
2 programs.
18th at Norwich.
Yes.
And 19th and 20th Cambridge.
Yes.
And 21st the Puja. 21st is a Sunday, isn't it?
I think so, Mother.
I hope so.
Yes.
Because you see, some people may like to come from here for Puja.
Yes, Mother.
Just find out, is it a Sunday, 21st? All right. Come now, come forward.